YouTube! Robert here. This is my weekly car vlog. Anyway, I am headed to work. It's kind of a cloudy day, but what do you do? It's been cloudy and rainy quite a bit, so there's a lot of areas that are flooded, and creeks and rivers and stuff are full or over full, whatever. But anyway, so today's car vlog is going to be a little bit weird, a little bit different. Some things I want to talk about. Hopefully I don't alienate anybody or turn anybody off. If you don't like the video, you're more than welcome to click off and go check out some of my other videos on FlossTube or whatever. But this is I guess more of a serious conversation. I mean, I'm going to start out with, I think, some of the less serious stuff. So Stitch Mania, I mentioned in a video that I'm also going to be posting the same day. It's going to be the Get to Know Me, but I'm planning on doing Stitch Mania. I don't have really any firm plans for Stitch Mania. As of yet, I don't think I'm going to do 15 starts in 15 days. That scares me a little bit, to be honest, but I'll try to work out something. I've got a few projects that I've got kitted up and ready to start, so maybe I'll start those. Anyway, so got that out of the way. So my topic of discussion today is finances. So I am going to strongly suggest and advocate against taking any kind of payday loans, payday installment loans, any of those kinds of things. And here's why I'm even bringing it up. I 2 years ago made the decision, kind of strong-armed my husband into it and whatever, that we were going to get a second car, go get a second car loan and everything. Now, up to that point, we had been doing really good. We had put a lot of money aside. Not a lot, but I mean, it was a lot for us because, you know, up to that point, I didn't really have a job that paid pretty well. And so all of our money went to bills. So we took out a loan. Let's fast forward a little bit. So almost 3 years ago, took out a loan to buy a car. Now, the car was from this buy here, pay here place. We paid way more than what we should have. But at the time, I needed a car because, you know, he had a car that worked really well. The car that I had that was paid off ended up needing quite a bit of work. It probably anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000-ish, roughly, dollars to get it even street legal. It had a lot of stuff that ended up going bad with it, which isn't the car's fault. It was an older car. It was a 98. So a lot of the stuff that went bad, I mean, it was to be expected. You know, it's from 1998, so obviously things are going to go bad with it. So we bought this car, buy here, pay here place, whatever. We were making the payments perfectly on it every 2 weeks, I think is what was scheduled, was every 2 weeks I had to make a payment. Otherwise they would shut the car off, and then I couldn't drive it. Anyway, so we had done really well for about a year, and then that year mark came, or before that year mark came, I told my husband, and at the time I was doing a lot of driving for my job, I was like, you know, I'm really racking up the miles. You know, it was already a high mileage vehicle when we purchased it, but I'm really starting to rack on the miles, you know, 3,000-ish a month. or more, depending on what I had to do, but it was all because of my job. My job was very mobile, so I had to drive from place to place to place, not to mention, you know, I'm about 35 to 40 minutes away from the main base that I called my main base, where the office was, and so, I mean, I was putting a lot of mileage on it. Now, he said, no, you know, we can't do that, you know, we're doing really well, we're not going to be able to afford it if we do that, blah, blah, blah. Me being the strong-willed person I am and not really wanting to listen to no for an answer kind of a thing, I'm like, no, you know, it'll be fine, we'll be able to afford it, it'll be just peachy, right? Not really, I wasn't really taking into consideration a lot of factors, including full coverage insurance for 2 cars, wasn't, you know, taking into account the amount of money that we would have to pay for sales tax and tagging for the first tagging for the car. You know, didn't really think about any of that kind of stuff because, let's face it, I'm kind of a wing it kind of person on a lot of those issues, so I just kind of winged it. Well, hindsight is 20/20, as they always say. Should have listened to my husband. He was and still is very knowledgeable, very, you know, he's got that sight to kind of see the bigger picture, if you will. I can usually see the bigger picture on some instances, on other instances, no, it's the here and now, and I have to do it, right? So, he caved, we got the car, it's the car that I'm in right now, and everything was fine for the first month. Then came time to license and title and pay the sales taxes. And we didn't have it. We didn't have the money for it. So what we ended up doing, and we shouldn't have, but we did, was taking out a payday installment loan. You know, because we're thinking, oh, okay, great, you know, it's installments, we'll be able to make smaller payments, and then over time we'll pay it off. Well, in theory, that's all fine and dandy, but what ends up happening, first payment comes due, now you're behind on a lot of your bills. You know, you got this car payment that you gotta make, or 2 car payments now. You got insurance, full coverage for both of them. You've got liability for the one that is paid off that you still have. And all of that. So, what ended up happening is, I'm like, you know, this installment loan, it's not going to last forever. You know, let's go ahead and take another one out. We'll be okay if we take another one out, you know, get a little ahead on all of our bills, our rent, our gas bill for the apartment, the electricity bill, you know, get a little ahead on our insurance payments, and still have money to eat for food, right? Wrong. I am strongly advocating that you don't do any of that. Don't take out the payday loans or the payday installment loans or anything, no matter how dire the situation may feel at the time. It's only going to make it 10 times worse in the long run. We are sitting at a point where we've had the one car repossessed. We've already given the car that was paid off to my dad prior to getting that car repossessed, because at the time I thought for sure that we were going to get a handle on the finances and it'll be fine. My dad was looking for another car for fixing up and selling, and I think he was going to sell it, but at any rate he was going to do something with it. Not sure exactly, but long story short, you know, we gave him the car, then the one car got repossessed. Now we've got one car. So my husband and I are sharing this one car. And we're at a point where we're really struggling on finding a way to keep making the payments on this car, the insurances, the gas bill for the apartment, the electricity bill, the apartment even. We're having a hard time figuring all of that out, not to mention the food situation in the house. You know, it's all just really, really bad, and it's all because of those loans. Now, I've looked into them, and one of them is going to come off, I believe it's in June or July. I'd have to double check again, but one of them is going to come off here just in the next couple of months or so at most. One of them is going to come off in August, and then part of our cell phone bill is going to go away in October. So I mean, slowly but surely we're getting these things whittled away, but at the same time we're at a point where we can't even pay our basic bills, and we have to have this car because it's our only car, right? So long story short, I'm getting to work. Don't get payday loans, payday installment loans. Don't get any loans at all if you can't afford it. Learn from my mistake, because I surely wish I would have listened to not only my husband but a lot of the experts. So I'm pulling into work. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I will see you all on Friday for my floss tube installment, and have a fantastic day. I'll see you all later. Bye.